Hey y'all. Okay, well, I'm excited to go live with you guys today. Wanted to chit chat a little bit about some things that have been on my mind, and we're gonna have some real talk today about business and sales because I just feel like it's important and it needs to be shared and it needs to be put out there. And oh, what is that? Something popped up on my screen. Okay, it's okay. So here's the thing. One of the number one things that I've been in business for myself for 15 years. My husband also runs his own business. I have coached hundreds and hundreds of women in business, how to grow their business, how to get unstuck, all the things. And one of the number one things I feel like I see over and over and over again is, well, people just don't follow up. And it's such a simple practice that you can do, that you can put out into your business every single day that will change everything, but we just don't do it. And I think it's for, honestly, probably a huge variety of reasons. I'll tell you a little story. I remember when I was new in building a business way back when I was 22 when I started my business originally. And I remember my mentor was telling me like the things to do, what to say, how to grow my business, how to find customers, all of these things. And I just really didn't want to follow the plan for most of it. Like, can any of y'all relate at all? Like, I think one thing as entrepreneurs, we all like to kind of try to reinvent the wheel because we're creative, we're entrepreneurial, we like to start things. That's why you're an entrepreneur. But the reality is, if there is already a proven plan for something, don't waste your time trying to reinvent the wheel. One of the best advices I ever got was actually from I think it's like a CD actually back like 10 years ago that I listened to from a billionaire talking about building a business and success and everything. And he said, success in business, it's like a cake, right? It's like a cake. So you follow the recipe to make the cake. And if you follow the same recipe, you're going to get a cake, just like how somebody else that follows the recipe is going to get a cake, right? So stop trying to replace ingredients or make your own thing. And, once you master how to make the cake, if you want to make the cake better, then go make your own fresh recipe. But if you're not there yet, if you have not mastered making the cake, quit trying to change it up and substitute all these things for the magical cake, because the formula and recipe for the cake is right in front of you. I just think we make it hard on ourselves, And so anyways, that was me when I was a new entrepreneur. Yeah, I didn't want to follow the plan. I was like, that sounds weird. I'm not going to say that. I don't want to do that. And one of the things I really didn't want to do was follow up. And I really think that the thing about it is that when you're in business, everything about starting a business is scary, right? Like, you're stepping out on your own, like you're trying something new, you're taking a risk, you're making yourself vulnerable, putting yourself out to the world for people to make judgments on you. And, if you're like me, when I first started, my friends didn't think my business was cool. They were like poo-pooed on it a little bit. They're amazing. I love my friends, but we all have people that don't get it when you first start something sometimes, right? And so the last thing I wanted to do was, I think really what I wanted, can you relate to this, is you want to start a business and you love the idea of success, right? You love the idea of success and you love the idea of what can come from success and that future self and that future life. But we kind of want it just to magically come to us, right? We're like, I just want to magically have 100,000 followers on Instagram and be able to put out a post and everybody just buys from me. And, I just have so many people that love me. They all just call me out of the blue to buy my product or service. And, that's just how my business works. Yeah, that's great. But guess what, girlfriend? This is not a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? It takes work. You build a business from the ground up. And if you want to build a business with solid customers, with clients and business and sales that come back over and over and over again, and you have momentum and abundance and growth, then you're going to have to do the work that it takes. And one of the things that it's going to take is follow-up. So here's what I'm getting at with this. What I used to do is I used to get a potential customer, let's say, somebody that could be my potential customer or a lead for my business. And I would reach out to them once, right? I would call them, maybe leave a message, send them a text, email, whatever. And then I wouldn't hear back. And then I didn't want to reach out again because I was scared. Honestly, I think it's fear of rejection that most people have, right? They don't want to hear no. We're so afraid of hearing no that we won't even follow up with people. Now, here's the thing. This isn't even the topic I wanted to talk about today, but you got to get over the fear of no. In anything that you're ever going to grow, if you're going to grow a business, you're going to get more no's than you'll ever get yeses. any person you've seen successful at the top of any industry, any business, whether it's real estate, whether it's personal fitness, whether it's network marketing, direct sales, whether it's, I don't know, like home decor staging, whatever it is, the reason they're at the top is because they have fallen down more times and gotten up more, heard more no's, had more doors slammed in their face. And that's the thing, is they're not afraid to take that risk. And so they're willing to put themselves out there because there is that chance. And that's why they get to the other side. That's what follow-up is all about. So did you know, this is a fun fact, did you know that it's an actual statistical fact in sales that 93% of sales happen on the 6th contact attempt and beyond? Let that sink in for a minute. The 6th contact attempt and beyond. Holy moly. Like, okay, how many, I bet if you're watching this right now, just put a comment in the chat box if you can think of like 2 or more potential customers that you've reached out to one time and that's it. I know I can, and I can think of so many other stories too. And here's what I want you to think about. Think about all of the business that you're leaving on the table because you're not following up, because it's not even the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, it's the 6th contact attempt. Now, why is that? Well, I'll tell you right now why that is. It's because people are busy. So here's the lie that people tell themselves in business, which is why they don't follow up. We tell ourselves all these scary stories. Remember how I said we don't want to be told no? Well, because we don't want to be told no, we tell ourselves all these scary stories. We reach out once, we leave a message, we don't hear back. Maybe you reach out twice and you still don't hear back. Then you start to think they're annoyed with me, they're ignoring me, they think this is dumb, they're deleting my message, they're just not interested, all of those things, right? If they're interested, they would respond. That's what I always used to think. That's just not true. And I want you to think about yourself in your own scenario. How many times have you forgotten to confirm a dentist appointment? How many times have you been like, dang, I need to call back my kid's teacher, or gosh, that guy said he was going to paint our living room and I keep forgetting to return his call, or he emailed me, and right, like we're just busy. Our lives are full, and we are often, especially in this what's going on right now in the world, we're pulled in so many different directions. So 99% of the time, the person is not intentionally not replying to you. They just haven't, it's not on their top 3 things to do today, right? And so your job is to be pleasantly persistent. Your job is not to harass. You're not stalking people. You are just pleasantly persistent in continuing to connect, continuing to make those contacts, because when you do, you will be absolutely shocked. I want to tell you, I can think of a very specific time actually where I was following this process. And what does this look like? I mean, it looks like probably I might follow up. It depends on the industry really, but like in the industry that I was working in, I would follow up probably one time every 2 or 3 days, right? So you're not like obsessively calling them like 6 times in a day. That's not what I'm talking about. That's just weird, right? I'm talking about over a period of time. You want to be on the top of their mind. You want to be that person. And I remember one time when I was doing this and I got to the 6th contact attempt, and I left a message, sent a text, and I just said, hey, I'm maybe you're not interested because I've reached out and I haven't heard back. I'll go ahead and move on, They replied back and they said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you reached out to me again. I accidentally deleted your message. I lost your text. My kid, I actually had somebody once say my kid threw my phone in the toilet. I just got a new one. Thanks so much for reaching out to me. So you just never know. And those were contacts, the people that replied back, that then I got the appointment, that then I got the business. And it never would have happened if I would have stayed scared. I can think of a time too, early in my business and also in my husband's business in real estate. He doesn't do this anymore because, he's a boss now and he's amazing. But when he first started, I remember he was first getting started in real estate, his first couple months, and he followed up with somebody that's a potential customer. And then that was it. And then long story short, 6 months later, he was like at something. I can't remember what it was, but that customer came in. It might've been an open house or something. I can't remember, but that customer came in and they were talking. It's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I reached out to you. I'd love to help you. And they were like, oh, actually, somebody else followed up and we're actually in an agreement with them. And so they had gotten another realtor. Oh my gosh. I remember when it happened to my husband, he was just like, shut up. And I know he was like, I'll never let that happen again, because that's what's happening when people are, if you're not following up with them. So here's the thing. Why do you need to be pleasantly persistent? Because if you genuinely believe that you offer something, a product or service that can solve that person's problem, then you owe it to them to share. You owe it to them to share, because if it is genuinely something that can solve that person's problem and you don't follow up, they will get it from someone else. So you're not just not getting the business, you're basically giving it away to other people through connections and seeds that you've already planted. So I just want to challenge you guys today to just start making follow-up a part of your daily business practice. Every time you come in your office and you make a list of things to do for your business that day, one of the top 3 things better be, who are the people that I'm following up with today? It could be 10 text messages, 10 emails, 5 phone calls, but what are the intentional follow-up activities that you're going to do to continue to create those connections, continue to nurture those connections, to continue to plant those seeds, water those seeds, so that those can come to harvest. I cannot tell you how many times I have had connections like that where I have followed up, and sometimes it's been 6 months later and they've reconnected and they said, I cannot get you off my mind. I'm so glad you stayed connected with me. Let's do business now. So you just never know. So the fortune's in the follow-up, girlfriend, and I just wanted to encourage you with that today. Oh, by the way, if you love what I'm sharing, don't forget, I am doing a totally free High Performance Leadership Week challenge. It's kicking off and there's still room for you. So grab the link in my bio or DM me and I'll send you the link and you can get it on my free High Performance Leadership Week challenge. It's going to be amazing. All right, I'll talk to you later.